My consciousness begins where my dream ends. I'm at once spinning on the ball of my foot, a baton in hand drawing fantastically illogical paths of ribbon, the cloth colorful and miasmic, impossible to focus on but as clear and as sharp as diamonds. Anything I'm not directly touching is sparkling like rain, and rustling like a litter of puppies. I spin to my opposing foot, and in the same fluid bound, leap towards my next mark, crossing my arms and legs to enhance the already tight and nauseating spin I've sent myself into. And then, lights wash over me, over my face. It warms my eyelids, and I land on my back into a soft and smooth mattress. My legs part, and arms sprawl. My ankle digs slightly into my boyfriend's calf, but I pull it back before it would disturb him too much. My right arm is under his torso, and his left arm is folded over his chest. My free hand finds itself gently touching the bicep between us, using my finger tracing the edges of the different muscle groups. I keep going down, sliding to his elbow and continuing up to his wrist. Then I match my knuckles to his, pressing my hand just hard enough to feel the tendons atop his hands displace. I complete the arc and follow his jaw, appreciating the tactile feedback of the bristled hairs peeking out of his chin. His eyelids flicker as he, too, lands from his dream.
"Morning, babe,"
I say with half my throat. I move up to kiss him before he stops me.
"You're disgusting,"
he says.
"We haven't even brushed our teeth. Look at me and say you prefer the taste of that minty toothpaste."
I flatly return.
"Fair,"
he concedes as he pulls me in. It's a sweet, brief peck.
"Still gross, though,"
he responds with a slim smile, teeth that could be whiter, exposed by the gap.
"Fucking nerd,"
I chuckle back, retrieving my right arm as he leans over for the cooler half of his pillow. I love mornings like these. Typically, when we sleep together and cuddle, we wake up too late when the heat kicks back in and our sweat makes us stick together in a clammy bramble of limbs. But we woke up early and only slept with a thin sheet, which kept it cool while we held each other and passed out. We're early to rise because this Sunday, they complete the construction of the Heat Haze, a record-setting roller coaster Malcolm's been chomping at the bit to ride. Over the last year or so, Hollywood Everywhere, a Californian contractor, decided to install a set of theme parks across the United States. While the emphasis has always been on movies and the preservation of the prestige of cinema, venture capital doesn't sink itself into 50 acres without its fair share of attractions typical of theme parks, like Ferris wheels, decadently revolting food, spinning teacup chairs, and, well, now the Heat Haze. While I don't like the idea of being in a box that's flung around on a rail, I'm excited to try the spinning teacup rides, and I haven't had a good funnel cake in a while.
"Are you looking forward to any of the suites at the park?"
I ask while we file into the bathroom.
"Whatever they can slush, I guess,"
he says as he works his toothbrush against his teeth. He continues while brushing, I think saying something like,
"Maybe something like a cookie? Like the really big ones?"
I presume, while softening the bristles with a quick splash of tap water.
"Yeah."
Mal and I shower together. It's mostly a hollow gesture, considering we're going to get all hot and sweaty, probably even before we step foot into the park, but showering together became part of our daily routine ever since the water bill jumped up, and, well, they gave the master bathroom in this house such a large shower for this exact reason, right? The size of it always came off as oddly lavish for an otherwise tiny place like this. I huddle myself next to the shower head while Mal leaps past the sliding shower curtain and grabs his towels before we move on. Once we're dressed, we step into the hallway and hear the sound of the coffee machine sputtering as it jets out a steaming cup. Huddled in a blanket, wearing Crocs, a tacky wristwatch, and a fatigued smirk, stands our roommate and mutual friend, Andrew, manically swaying to pass the time between cups of coffee.
"Morning, gang,"
he says with the hollow desperation typical of an all-nighter.
"What's up?"
I ask, idly wringing some water out of my hair.
"I'm ready to die,"
he replies curtly.
"Sure do look the part,"
Mal offers as he speeds to the rack where all the coffee cartridges are stored, making sure there are a few of his preferred brew left.
"Hey, man,"
he continues after a disappointed sigh betrays his frustration.
"Do you have any projects sprawled out in the garage at the moment? We're getting ready to go in about 30 minutes, and I hate to run over all your shit. Just make sure I'm under the car when you leave."
Andrew burbles as he reaches for the mug. However, when he tugs on it, it doesn't budge. He gives it another go, presuming the first attempt was a fluke. To no avail, the mug is still there. After a few slow, drawn-out blinks, his view becomes clear enough to notice that Mal's palm was on top of it.
Dude, how about you get some rest instead?
Mal suggests, tightening his fingers around the mug and bringing it to his torso with little resistance. He takes a sip.
Fucking douche.
Andrew mumbles on his way past us to his room, which gets us both to chuckle a little bit when paired with the squeaky crinkling of those godforsaken Crocs of his. Once I hear his door close, I ask,
Isn't it summer break for WNC students? Not the engineering students.
He replies between sips.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, it's an accelerated course. That time comes from somewhere.
Mal begins smacking his lips while he works the remaining fluoride off of his tongue.
That's just how much one less semester means to him.
Mal takes another moment to see if he can taste the coffee before he reaches for a paper towel and dabs at his tongue while I walk around him and enter the kitchen. Just above the fridge is the cupboard that has all of our cereals. I prefer the cornflakes with raisin, while Mal prefers the cereal with the marshmallows. Andrew's more of a toaster pastry kind of guy. A few raspberry Pop-Tarts tucked away in the back where the light from the ceiling fixture can just barely reach, only noticeable thanks to the highly reflective cellophane that protects the snack from all the dust. When I open up the refrigerator to grab some milk, it kicks up enough to make me sneeze.
Hey, babe?
I ask when we meet at the table, Mal passing me a bowl and my favorite spoon.
When are we going to change the air filter? Shit, I keep forgetting about that.
He remarks as he empties his cereal into his own bowl.
Oh, I've got Tuesday off.
He realizes as he pinches a few marshmallows to eat before adding milk.
I can go and grab the filter and replace it and everything. Do you want to tag along? I'll help you get it, but I don't want to go up there. That's cool.
He smirks.
Just spot me in case I fall off the ladder.
This is the meaning of a theme park. The staff are dressed like cinema custodians, made complete with name tags bordered like film reels. In the shaded area where the tickets and admissions are performed before it breaks out into the park, wall to wall are posters atop posters of cinema classics, most of which I've never heard of, but emanate the vibe of an authentically vintage film buff trophy hall. They even take the tickets in those little plexiglass ticket teller stalls that... Wait, that's how most tickets are taken, but regardless, it's still cool. While we walk into the main foregrounds, I have to tug Mal along as he pores over the plaque under some framed film equipment establishing the history of filming techniques. Then, once we're admitted, I take in the skyline dotted with installations. From left to right, I see the truly massive Ferris wheel, whose other siding panels about the spokes are painted like a film projector, a few roller coasters with varying themes like sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and so forth, and then the big one, the heat haze. Hulking like a titan, it looms above the rest of the park, and from impression alone I feel as if each cart of thrill-seekers flung down its track is another fist balled up and packed into an offhand, like a bully intimidating an easy victim. Needless to say, I veer to the left. On our way to the Ferris wheel, there are tons of little kiosks with snacks and confectionery, which we pick up as we pass by like slime balls rolling down dirty stairs. Soon, we're encumbered by all the little ice cream sticks and pastry wrappers and have to dump them all into the next recycling bin we find. By the time we offload the garbage, we've made it into the line for the Ferris wheel, which, up close, has a sign displaying its true name. Film Wheel. For the cue of a ride, I find the little tidbits of the movie facts and diagrams of various cinematic stunts and contraptions they've depicted in the shade for the line very engaging to sift through. I look to Mal and he's beaming, soaking up the sun like he was born to it. Glistening. His sweat was glistening. And so was mine, admittedly. But he looks so cute with his curly hair hovering softly above his shoulders, black undershirt clinging onto his torso for dear life, the faintest definition about his pecs peeking through. Such a hunk. We board the film wheel cart where a gaggle of Girl Scouts exit, giddy to have been in a Ferris wheel with all their best friends and without their parents, who, of course, were waiting by the boarding area to immediately pick them up because they care about their kids or whatever. We were told by the technician that we get 2 rotations, one where the previous riders get off, to which he then pointed to the girls begrudgingly applying another layer of sunscreen, and then another uninterrupted rotation before unloading. There was also apparently a video that was supposed to play in the cart, but it seems like ours was broken. We enter on opposite sides of the cart at first. Once the door closes and a few other people load in, accentuated by the jittery start and stop of the Ferris wheel, Mal starts to lean closer to me. I can only see its silhouette, however, as the sun splashes behind him, washing him out. He reaches out his hands, and I reciprocate, holding them tightly. We sit like this for a moment, until we clear the top half of the wheel. I can now see both of the sun and Mal's silhouette. I take a breath to say something before Mal kindly, quietly prefaces with,
"You know I love you."
This is a strange way to start a sentence.
"You know I want nothing but the best for you, and I don't mind taking care of you,"
he continues. The sun begins to sting my eyes.
"But Moon..."
He addresses me directly, but pauses. He takes a hesitant breath, and my eyes instantly well up. A breathy hic escapes my mouth before he goes,
"When do you plan on getting a job?"
I take a beat to process what I thought he was going to say, and then can't help myself from laughing, crying.
"Babe?"
he asks, more confused than anything as he works up a chuckle himself.
"Oh my god, I am so sorry,"
I say, withdrawing a hand and wiping away an incredibly hot tear.
I thought you were going to break up with me for a second there.
I say, still trying to shake that pit in my stomach the tension I hadn't realized took hold just a second ago had left behind.
Jobs. Jobs.
I keep saying job in weirder voices as a way to arrest the more volatile emotions escaping me in ethers.
Jobs. "Is that bothering you?" "Not me, personally,"
he says.
"So Andrew is upset with me."
"What? No."
"Look, babe, if it's some bro code thing that's making you vouch for him, that's okay. I can deal." "No, Moon, you don't get it." "I totally do. It's not like he's wrong, just..."
"Moon," he states more assertively.
"No bro code. I just... Maybe you'd benefit from a hobby or disposable income." "I know. I'm just..."
Mal pulls me aside and we sit together, away from the blinding sun. I collapse into his chest and find myself resting on his shoulder, looking up into his evergreen eyes.
"Scared of being turned down?" "Yeah, I know. It sucks. You have to jump through a ton of hoops to prove yourself, and sometimes you just have to fucking lie to get anywhere. It's not designed to be honorable or nice. It's cutthroat competitive, but wouldn't it be nice if you had something that you knew you yourself earned? What's that song you're writing? How's it go?"
He goads me on and bounces my relaxed arm with his knee, which gives me enough energy to humbly start. "Hey, where's all that moxie? Or was it just a facade? What was it you were plotting? Is there anything at all?"
"Yeah, there you go, babe."
"What is it that you're hiding? That your posture's all talk? What is it that you keep from me? Don't make me..." I haven't figured out the lyrics to this part yet. "Block..."
"Yeah, you get it."
He growls at a lower register into my ear, slowly moving his mouth down to my neck to kiss it. My other hand finds itself scratching at his scalp, and we unwind for the rest of the rotation. We lose track of time, and he's all over me when the cart's door unlatches and the operator opens it, powerless to stop the little girl in tears pushing her way into the cart.
Whoa!
Mal starts with a jolt, leaping off of me like I'm burning hot coals, and frantically fixing his messy hair when the Girl Scout enters in a fury.
"Where is my phone?"
she pleads.
"Oh, I don't know."
He responds meekly, gauging how much she could infer from how disheveled we suddenly became.
"Where's my phone?"
she screeches, angrily crying.
"I don't know, kid." "Babe, have you seen it?"
I use the hand not currently patting my hair back into place to check under me and where I'm sitting, and sure enough,